and I most certainly don't own any hardware stores in the area. I've lived in this village for about 3 years now. I work for Cat County DPW, and I'm also a Marine Corps veteran. Thank you. Today I'm not here to talk about me. Instead, I want to share a very remarkable story about a very remarkable man, who most of you here today know him, but he doesn't want to be mentioned by name, so that's fine. This young man enlisted in 1967 in the Army, and he soon found himself in the Vietnam War. He was an infantryman attached to the 4th Cavalry, and it was there that he met up with 13 other brave men that he grew to trust and he grew to rely upon them. And together they totaled 14 warriors from families and hometowns spanning the entire country from California to Massachusetts. And each one of these men came with their own history, their own values, and their own dreams. But each one of them had the shared goal of keeping one another alive in times of hardship. And for me, that's where this story really begins today. After being wounded by an RPG, he received the Purple Heart for his bravery, and he returned home to East Otto. He got married, he took a job driving a truck, and he began raising a family. But for him, he kept feeling the tug of that connection to those old combat buddies that he met. Because what a lot of people don't understand is those men faced on a daily basis, day in and day out, they found themselves living in a constant swirl of danger. They didn't know what lay ahead. They didn't know what each day brought. Most of us here today will never begin to even understand what that's like. To have the weight of your friends' lives being dependent upon your awareness and your vigilance. But they did. And it bonded those men together stronger than glue. So after 12 years, this man sat down and he wrote 13 identical letters, and he mailed them out to the last known address he had for each one of them. And slowly the responses became trickling back in. And in 1982, these individuals held the first reunion since they left behind the horrors of that war on the other side of the world. And they've been doing it ever since. And that's what I love so much about this story that I wanted to share it. In 1982, I was 3 years old. And these boys have been coming together every year to celebrate that friendship and camaraderie almost my entire lifespan. And every year, one of them will act as the host in his home state, and the other ones will come. They usually stay about a week or so. They get together and they do things. And on top of that reunion, if one of their children get married or there's a big family event like that, the other 13 will also come running on top of the reunion week, like I said, to celebrate that special day with their brother. And that's why I'm sharing this, people. It is amazing to me that this family of 14, which was forged in Vietnam almost 50 years ago, has now grown to over 100 members. It includes wives, daughters, grandkids, sons, and I can say I'm even honored and humbled to be a part of that now as well. I met these men 2 years ago, and they welcomed me in. And them being Army, they didn't even care that I was a jarhead. And I felt like I've known those men all my life now. And when the week was up, and everybody had to go their separate ways, it was just as sad and heartbreaking for all of them to part, as it is for any other family, when the next year is already being looked forward to so much. And there were tears all around, myself included. So basically what I'd like for everyone here to take away from this story is this. Some of the greatest moments in life are forged from some of the worst. These men all went through hell together, and because of that enduring spirit of one of them, they have found one another again. And now when they're together, they can actually relax. They can actually enjoy their time and let their guard down because there's no bullets, there's no RPGs, there's no enemies coming at them. The only thing they got to fear now is some nagging wives telling them maybe they're a little too loud or they're drinking a little bit too much beer. And that's what I want everybody here to remember. Memorial Day is more than just a day off, more than a day off of school or work or whatever. It's more than eating hot dogs and drinking beer, mowing your yard, or catching up on your DVR. To those men that I spoke of, today is a celebration of life and an appreciation that they made it home alive to be able to have those yearly get-togethers when so many of their brothers did not. Today is for all those who we remember and for all those that we've forgotten. For the brave men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can stand here today and enjoy hot dogs and drink those beers. It is for those who have fallen that don't get to go home to their wives or their husbands or their children so that all of us can. They paid in blood so that we can go to graduations, weddings, and birthday parties. They lost their friends in combat so that we can all hang out with ours. And they lived in a constant cloud of fear so that all of us can go to bed at night not being afraid. As for the man that I spoke of, I cannot express in words my admiration for how he reunited his military family and of how he took those steps to begin a tradition that is now in its third decade and going strong. I met this man 4 years ago when he became a truly great friend and a member of my family. What I didn't know 4 years ago was that he was also going to become my hero. So thank you, tall guy, wherever you're at in the audience, for all that you've done and for showing me what a band of brothers truly is. And ladies and gentlemen, if you please stand with me and give him, these brave individuals standing behind me, and all those serving abroad one hell of a round of applause for everything that they've done and for everything that they've given up.